Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Wherever you are watching me from, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channels of Sudan International TV. If you are watching me on Facebook or TikTok, kindly share, like, and comment on this video. Thank you so much. Do you know that China may likely colonize Africa again? Do you know that the Chinese government may likely colonize or colonize Africa again after the European colonization in the early 80s and 90s? But there is the probability that Chinese government may likely colonize Africa again. And I have reasons for saying this because the way Africans are going, it seems that they are not ready for total freedom from this for from external influence, from external body. You understand? So I just feel that until Africa start waking up, start holding their leaders accountable, definitely we are not going anywhere. You understand? And I want to tell you that there's a probability that there's a like 60% chances or 80% chances that China may likely colonize Africa. Now, one of the reasons is the Chinese government have so much interest in oil and gas, so they tend to invest more in oil and gas. They have so much influence in in Sudan, Angola, and Nigeria. So the Chinese government they tend to invest more in oil and gas. So that is why they are really interested in the African soil, in their natural resources. Understand? So that is why I said if Africans can hold their leadership, their government or their leadership very well, to be able to give accountability for their government or for their office. You understand? Definitely, there will be transparency and they will be like that. Definitely, there will be like a little or less external influence because when we have government who tend to sell our natural resources, tend to the Chinese government or to the Western world. You understand? Definitely, there will be underdevelopment in our country. Definitely, just imagine you have oil and gas in your country, but definitely you cannot refine them. You have to take them to another country to refine them, sell back to your own country. Definitely, we are going nowhere. So that's why I say the Chinese government may likely colonize Africa if there is no care not taken because they are really interested in oil and gas. You understand? Not even only Chinese, the US, the France, the Russia, Italy, most of the European and African American countries, they all have interest in the African soil. So until Africa wake up and start holding their leadership accountable and start taking back what has been stolen from them, definitely the Chinese government will likely come over and take and colonize us again. You understand? The other one is loan. You see this loan. People be like most of our government will go to other countries to collect loan. Like most of African countries, let's say Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Zimbabwe, Benin, and most of these African countries, they go to this Western world to collect loan. And not like that, they cannot be able to pay back. Like if this government comes in, they collect loan, this government goes, another government comes, they still collect loan. So they keep collecting loan upon loan upon loan. Definitely, they are going to be indebted to it. Definitely, they will have influence in our politics, in our economy, in our social life, and our activities. Definitely. So it is very hard for you to like drive them away because they are like slave to them. So that's why we have um and their influence. Like that's why we have neocolonialism in this our present dispensation. You understand? So they are like still colonizing us indirectly, using African leaders to do their job. You understand? So definitely until we stop collecting loans, until we start taxing ourselves, developing ourselves and try to see how we can raise finances within our own space, within what we have. You understand? The day Africans or Nigeria will start having their own refinery, you understand, start refining their oil and start selling to other countries, definitely we are on our way to final liberation. So for now, we are not going anywhere because we still have a long way to go because that is why you see this Chinese government, they don't see, the truth is that most of these Western people they don't have our interest at heart. They only have their own selfish interest. You understand? So as long as it is beneficial to them, everybody can go to hell and die. You understand? They don't have our own interest. And I pity Africans who fight themselves just for these people. You understand? That's why I see Africans. I like in one of my previous videos I said Africa will take over 200 years to develop. And I know what I'm saying because by all this generation would have gone because of the high rate of tribalism and religion, you understand, and ethnocentric behavior in African regions. So definitely this Western world, they so have so much interest in African resources. Let's take Niger for instance. Now, Niger succeeded in driving the France the France yes, the France influence from their country. That's why I see without even without having any war or bloodshed. You understand? They did it in the more civilized way. So I think in the Niger Republic, they now begin to wake up. Same thing with Gabon, Mali, and other African countries. You understand? The other one is you see economic control. You see you know about this economic control is the Chinese government they export like most of their resources they export like we African mostly Nigerian most of the things we consume in our country we get them from Chinese country from Chinese government maybe our phones most of what we consume all the time I got it from most foreign countries most especially the Chinese government you understand because they have a very large economy so it is so I see the Chinese government are becoming one of the most powerful government in the world. You understand? So they have economic control because they will come and they will come they will want to invest so they will give you loans they will give you grant they will do a lot of things they will come to your country and say they want to develop you understand then they are gaining grant you understand and if you watch what's going on in most especially in Nigeria that check most of the cities or states that are being controlled by most of the Chinese government, like most of our industries, our oil sector, our coal sector, and other sectors in our economy are run by the Chinese government. You understand? And do you know that US and Chinese they don't have a conflicting interest in African stuff because they both know what they are fighting for. So Chinese interest and the US interest has nothing to do with to as in they don't have to clash because they know what they are fighting for. They are both even if they are fighting for almost the same thing, but they know their own specific their own area um, of control. Yes, they know their own area of control. They know where to go, so they don't have to. Don't their goals are not conflicting against each other. You understand? So the US and the Chinese goals are not conflicting. Are not necessarily conflicting against each other because most of them they are all most of the world part they're all focusing on Africa. And you know what? Without Africa, they will not be surviving because it is we Africans and African natural resources that they use to develop their own country. That's why you see most of our best medical doctors, our nurses, best accountants, they're all going to their own country because due to what we have in our country, definitely people are migrating because they feel that those their own country, their economy is stable, their government is okay, things are going fine. They tend to have a better life outside country than in Nigeria. You understand? And whereby medical doctors are paid very well in other countries than in Nigeria. That's why I say as at last they say over 40,500 people from Nigeria migrated to Canada and to other countries. You understand? That is why I see people will keep traveling and leaving Nigeria, even other African soil, and Africa will remain underdeveloped. You understand? So the other one is bad leadership. See, this bad leadership is that the Western world they don't want us to have good leadership. That is the honest truth. They don't really want us to have good leadership so that they can have people they can control and do their bidding. The day we start having good leadership, like when we want to put tribalism, all this sentiment aside, religious and this ethnic bigotry we have today, Nigeria is going to be better, and Africa is going to be better at that because when we say our tribe is going to rule, our tribe is going to see, have the Western world, they don't care about your tribe. All they want is a puppet, it's somebody that can able to dance to their tune and give them what they want. You understand? They want to still keep it. They want to keep exploiting African. They want to keep continue exploiting Africans for as long as the world exists. They want to see so they will never. That's why they have so much interest in our election in our government. That's why you see they will come and they say they are supporting the government with one something $1 billion for their election or for their project stuff like all these are all what scams. You understand? But they want to still be in control. So they see what about Africans that are so corrupt? They're after their own selfish interest. They want to keep embezzling money, get him more money for their own family and their own friends and their generations to come. They don't care about the mass. They don't care about. They just want. That's why the Western world and the Chinese government they'll be far ahead of Africa until we start doing what is right and having good leadership. Definitely, we're on our way to breaking free from their influence. You understand? I think with this few points, I've been able to convince you that you know this time if care is not taken, Chinese government may likely colonize Africa.